Well, today we've had about, I want to say between 15 and 18 straight days of rain. Not really fun. And it's sunny right now, obviously, because it's the sun shining on my face. I really thought it'd be a good idea to put up a fence line today. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put a board fence up. I'm going to take you guys along with me. I really like board fence. It's a lot more expensive, but it's so much more cleaner, and it's so much more secure, and it looks pretty. And I don't have a whole lot of fence to begin with, so for me, a board fence, I'm doing short runs, so I'm not doing 1,000 acres. I've only got 1 acre and I'm splitting it up. I have 4x4 fence posts that I had cut out of our own piñón trees. Some piñón are really hardwood here. We paint the bottom of those posts with carbolineo, which is actually creosote, and we paint the foot of it and stick it in the ground because we don't want to paint the whole thing right now because it's so wet out. Posts, or the boards themselves, are 2x6s at 3.2 meters, and they are treated, so they'll last a good long time too. So and we screw them. We don't nail them in, and the reason is that we want to be able to replace the boards really easy if a tree limb or a tree or something like behind me falls on it. So let me show you where we're going. You can see down this string. I don't know if you can see the string in the, yeah, this string right here. And I'm actually going to go over that way a little bit. I'm changing my plans a little bit. So anyhow, that's how we're going to do it. And I have with me, he's now allowed to be on camera. Look at him. He's beautiful. He's my boy. This is called the Fence Hole Digger Thomas 2007 model. And because I can't do it, and he's really good at helping. And he is awesome. Look at him. Look at him. The Thomas 2007 model. Two sides of pork. One side, here's the ham off of that one already. We're going to cure the ham, and there's fat that needs to be rendered there. Haven't even started on that one. Already pulled, get out of there, Sophie. Already pulled the tenderloin out of this one, which is lunch today. And cured ham hocks, cured hams. There's another ham there. Ought to be yummy. Self-sufficient homesteading in Chile. Another fine winter day here in Chile, and I want to show you my latest project. I'm always doing something here to help improve my, I don't know, life a little bit better, our chores and what we have to get done and do. And one of the big problems we have is dry firewood. You see it right there. There's a dry fire, wet firewood. And under the plastic here is our dry firewood. And I'm right up here close to the side of the house, and I usually have the wood right there where Sophie's standing, so I can easily put it inside. Since we heat our house, we cook with firewood, and we heat all our water with firewood too, which is really efficient way for us to do it, because firewood here is so cheap. To give you an idea, I bought firewood for 15,000 pesos a cubic meter, and I've seen it as much. Well, I had a guy offered to me yesterday for 28,000 a square metro, so it's over double depending on who is coming up with whatever price they got. And fortunately for me, I have, you know, oodles and oodles of trees falling in the woods right now. I mean, big trees too. That would take me a couple of months to just to solve one of them that I know of. So anyhow, but firewood is one thing, but more important than just firewood is dry firewood, and that's always a challenge. So this is the remainder of a big tree that we had fallen in and split up into wood. Some of it was cut into fence posts, like those 4x4s you see there. I had 131 of those made, and the remaining scraps was, you know, too thin for logs or fence posts. I used as firewood, and that's all my other supply of firewood as well. And actually I have another stack way over there that I use, and that stack over there, way over there, is for cooking with. This is eucalyptus, which tastes like eucalyptus, and that's a nice sweet hardwood over there, so I cook with that. I cook over when I cook meat, smoked meat. Anyways, on to the project. So I am building right here a 6 meter long by 4.5 meter, almost 5 meter building. I love metric. It's so much easier to deal with than inches and feet and stuff. It's just really simple. And so my buddy Travis has been helping me set this out, and we put our batter boards in today and set our lines up so we can get measured, and gonna have a total of 5 concrete sleepers or beams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down, and rest my 2x6s over there on top of that, and have a floor structure. And it'll be about 6 feet tall on the inside. See, this is where my first concrete footing's going, or my sleeper right there, about 10 inches wide and about a foot into the ground. We really don't have to go too far on the ground. We don't have a frost here, and the other thing is the ground here is really soft, so I'd have to dig down 6 feet to really get hard stuff, so I'm anticipating it sinking a little bit. And you can see this has all been where I've been storing my firewood, and unfortunately it gets wet, and I don't want that anymore. So what I've decided to do is build a little house, or a woodshed. Yeah, and Thomas is going to help me do that, and our workaway guy is going to be, fortunately for me, digging the ditches for me and mixing the concrete, because we have our own concrete machine to mix with. So and we have plenty of gravel too. So that's our little project. I'm going to take you along on this project. It might take me a couple of months to get it done, for a couple reasons. It's a lot of work for me, for one thing, and the other thing is it's a lot of money for me to come up with buying the supplies for this, the concrete, the construction materials in general. I need to be rational about things too, because I don't like debt. I'm not a debt person. Debt's bad. Debt's not your friend. This is going to be polycarbonate, which is going to be like clear plastic, really, but it's kind of about that thick, and it's kind of a waffle corrugated stuff. It's flat, it's smooth, and it's going to be A-frame roof. And the reason is I don't want to put any electrical in this building or lighting, and I'll have this wonderful bright sun like we have today, right? To give me lighting inside my leñera. And that's what's going there. All that scrap metal I've been saving for eons is going to go into the footings. It's a good place to put metal, and that's where that's going. So dig in these beams this way, and then the 2x6s are going to go across this way, and that'll work really well. So I'll keep you up to date on what's going on. There's my grass cutting machines out there doing their thing. We're expecting some sheep here in the next month or so. It is June something or another right now. So there's your first update on my latest project. Okay, my workaway guy Claudio dug all this. This is the first footing out of 5. He brought some gravel down. We got the cement. We got my mixer ready, plugged in, leveled out a hole over there. I've got some rebar steel over there. Well, later the same day, I've got one sleeper in. Looks pretty bad too. I've got to smooth it out with the trowel there next to Sophie. Had the cement mixer going, did well. Mixed up good cement with Thomas and our workaway guy. And that's good. So we got this one in. And then tomorrow we're going to dig that hole for the next one. We'll get a water tube and make sure they're both level with the water level. And then we'll put the ones in between it by pulling a string. So we'll see how it goes. As you see, the plastic that we're putting the firewood under is not very high tech right now, and we've been here for a while. It's July, and that makes it 7 years that we've been here in Chile, and we're really enjoying it here. Love Chile. But this is typical winter weather. Actually, it's not quite typical because it's not raining on me, which always reminds me of the line from Young Frankenstein when Igor says to him, says, "Could be worse, could be raining." But anyhow, so I poured my two ends first, and I snapped the string between the two of those to get it level. I am terrible at pouring concrete. I did have our workaway guy dig our trenches. I made the forms for him because I can't dig with my back, which was really nice that he was able to do that for us. But right now, if Thomas will show you, we've got the trenches filled with concrete and some steel and rebar. Of course, every animal on the farm had to put a footprint in it. I think the sheep were the only ones that didn't get their footprint in there. So, and what I've decided to do is, I've got some treated 2x6s, about 80 of them that I bought. I've got about 20 or 30 of those that I'm going to use to do the floor truss on top of these concrete sleepers. And everything else above that will be under roof. The roof is going to be a gabled roof, not real steep, but steep enough to look nice. Right where I'm standing here is going to be a ramp that'll allow me to roll my wood splitter inside here and keep it dry, as well as a big wagon that we have. We're going to put some stakes on the side so we can fill it up with wood, and that can be stored in the garage. I'm trying to get my garage back to being a garage, or into being a garage, so I can keep my car there. But I'll extend out, this is the extra concrete we have, I'll extend this out, and then we'll clean up everything. But it's been raining here for the past, I want to say 12 or 15 days. What do you think, Thomas? Does that sound right? Yeah. And so we haven't been able to get a lot done. We'd get a footing in, a concrete footing in. We have a mixer, which is nice. And then it rained for 3 days. And then we get the forms off, and then I didn't want to make new forms, so we were moving the forms back and forth between them. And if Thomas will show you, you'll see we've got them all done right now. Just have to take the forms off the two middle ones there. So anyways, that's a little update for what we're doing here in Chile. Where I'm at in the south of Chile, in the Los Lagos region, it rains buckets, about 6 to 8 feet of rain a winter. I know that's a big difference, 6 to 8 feet, but if you're in a valley, you might get double what everybody else is getting. We get a fair amount of rain. People talk to me about water collection all the time. Why don't I have more barrels catching the water from the downspouts? Because the biggest problem is I need to get rid of that water. I got too much water. We don't have flooding where I'm at because it's been raining here like that for thousands of years, so it's not an issue of that. My solar system's doing pretty grand. I'm having to run the generator about an hour, sometimes 2 hours a day, in the morning and the evening. Just we have a little extension on our day. We actually might get a ray of sunshine here in a minute, but this time of year I really expect it to be necessary to run the generator a little bit now and then. The grand thing is this is like the July 4th weekend, Sunday, and because of that, in June 21st was the shortest day of the year for us. We are in the southern hemisphere, and our days are now getting longer, and they will get sunnier and warmer too. So come on, spring. So anyhow, ciao from Chile Expat Family. Thomas is going to show you some sunshine.
It's fading.